Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. Today I have an early preview for you of an upcoming game called Gone Upstate. Now this is kind of a open world survival crafting game, but it has a very unique art style and a mix of real world and what I would call surreal world atmosphere to it. Gone Upstate is not yet available for purchase at time of this recording. However, you can sign up for the playtest program that they have running now, and that's how I got access to the game myself. Now, what we're going to see in this preview video is what I consider to be pre-alpha gameplay, so a lot could change between the date this is being recorded and the release date for the game. Speaking of release dates, I didn't see one listed on Steam yet, but you are able to wishlist and follow it. If the game looks interesting to you, I encourage you to do that. It sure looks interesting to me, and if you want to see more of the game after watching this preview video, I do have a short preview Let's Play season that should post to the Glidercat channel a day or two after this video, so definitely check that out if you want to see more. We're just going to kind of touch the surface here in the preview video. Okay, let's jump in by watching the game's current official trailer. Then when we come back, I'll share my first impressions from playing Gone Upstate for about 3 hours so far. Okay, here we go with the trailer. All right, so that was the trailer. What did we just see? Well, we saw some hunting, some building, we saw some farming, or I guess you could say it was more like gardening with the planter boxes. I don't know if that's like what I would call full-scale farming, but either way, you're growing crops. But maybe the most interesting and odd thing that we saw in the trailer was what they call those mysterious entities, quote unquote. So those were the glowing creatures of various sizes that we saw, kind of cartoony looking, definitely different than anything else that we saw in the game. We saw some normal looking animals, and then we saw these mysterious entity things floating around. Now, even after playing the game for a few hours, I'm still not so sure what to make of those strange creatures. But I will say that I liked having them in the game, and they definitely add some spice to the gameplay. So what's the game all about? Let's start from the beginning. The premise of Gone Upstate is that you escape the grind of the city by bus and head out to the wild outdoors with little more than the clothes on your back and a few bucks in your pocket. Once there, you set out to make a life for yourself, living off the land and selling products that you make yourself or gather from the local environment to raise funds for supplies such as ammunition, which you're going to need, and electronics. Aside from the several kiosks which you can buy supplies, and a store where you can sell the goods that you either collect or craft yourself. It's just you up there in the wilderness with the animals. Or is it? So, as it turns out, as we saw in the footage, there are some mysterious creatures in this land. Now, some of them seem to take little interest in you, as you can see from these guys here. They don't seem to be too concerned. While others seem to take great interest in you, as you can see in this footage here. So, what are these creatures? Why are they here? And are they even real, or is it some kind of like a dream thing or parallel universe kind of thing? I don't know. The answers to those questions are things that you're going to have to find out for yourself. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I don't actually know. I haven't played long enough to find out. So, when you first start a new game of Gone Upstate, you're able to set the difficulty level a bit, including how many enemies spawn and when. You can also set yourself up with some starting cash for supplies, or you can choose to start with like very little at all. The game will have three different modes to choose from. Those are story mode, open survival, and a challenges mode. Now, at the time of recording this, the playtest only includes the open survival mode, and that's what I've been playing so far. And I'm not sure, I kind of guess at what the story mode and the challenges mode will be, but I haven't seen those yet. Once you've chosen your starting conditions, you begin the game at a bus stop after just being dropped off, and you're on your own to go eke out a life here in the open countryside. If you've set yourself up with some starting cash, you can interact with a series of kiosks at the bus stop to purchase some initial supplies. And there's a whole bunch of them. There's like 7 or 8 little kiosks where you can buy all kinds of different things. In my playthrough, I chose to set myself up with the maximum amount of starting cash. I think it was around like 14,000. I'm not positive. And then having watched the trailer that we just saw, I bought a rifle, a shotgun, some ammo, some food, and a few tools to get myself off to a good start. Now, if you start the game without cash, that's not a huge deal. You'll likely just need to head out into the forest, gather some resources that you can then sell to the store to raise some funds, and then go ahead and buy the supplies after that. So either way, it's up to you how you want to start. I chose to start with some cash just to get things moving a little faster. And then once you've got some initial supplies, the next thing you'll do is begin to work through the list of objectives from your notebook. And that's shown on the right side of the screen. And you can toggle the notebook on and off if you don't want it on the screen the whole time. I think the GUI is pretty well done. Even at this early stage in the game, I found everything to be pretty intuitive. There's several different ways to close windows. Sometimes you click an X button. Sometimes there's a close button. Sometimes you hit escape. So there's some rough edges, but overall I found the GUI to be pretty nice. And there's all kinds of small objectives in that notebook. And they act as kind of a tutorial, guiding you through the various things that you can do in the game. The tasks there range from building a fire, which is super simple, to making $1 million, which probably isn't super simple. There's a task there for hunting a certain number of deer and just all kinds of stuff in that list. So they'll help keep you plenty busy as you explore what the game has to offer. I found that like kind of super useful for knowing what to do next. You know, some games just drop you in and it's like, okay, what can I do? And am I missing out on something? So that little notebook, I found to be pretty cool. I don't know if that'll stay for the final game or if they'll change that around once they have a story mode, but it works pretty good. Now, the purpose of this preview video is mainly to get Gone Upstate on your radar, and if you like what you see, to encourage you to dig a little deeper and learn more about it. So I'm not going to go into too much more detail here, but if you'd like to see more of the game and how it plays, be sure to check out the short Let's Play Gone Upstate season that will post to the Glidercat channel here in about a day or two after this video posts. And to sum up my first impressions after playing only a few hours, I'd say Gone Upstate is a pretty easy to get into survival crafting game with an interesting hook. And that hook being the mysterious cartoon-like creatures that you'll be coexisting with as you carve out a life in the open country. Again, the game is still very early in its development. I think I've said that several times now. So there's plenty of rough edges that you're likely to encounter as you play it in its present state. As I played it, I didn't find anything that was too horrible, but there are rough edges. It's kind of all to be expected at this stage. And I'm very intrigued by the promise this game holds. What attracted me to the game in the first place and got me wanting to put it on the channel was just there's something about it that is unique, and there's a lot of promise. Now we'll see if that promise is fully realized or not as it goes through its development phase. But you know, if you've watched the trailer and kind of watched some of the footage I've shown here, maybe it's kind of intriguing you as well as it's intrigued me. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I'm anxious to learn what all those strange creatures are all about. You know, they definitely stand out as a key feature in the game, beyond it just being a basic go out in the world and survive and craft and chop trees and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know if the strange creatures will have like a cool backstory to them or if they're just a novelty. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, Gone Upstate also has a great soundtrack, by the way. I should mention I didn't include the game's music in my Let's Play series just for fear of a copy strike from YouTube. It's always a little risky with games that are early in their development, and I've been burned before on this, so I tend not to include the music, but you just have to trust me. It's pretty darn good. I also really like the art style that they went with for Gone Upstate. I think it fits the game, the mood of the game, especially with those little creatures and things. This is just, you know, not super realistic looking, and so it kind of fits with those strange little creatures that pop up. So if you like survival games and you're intrigued by the mysterious creatures I keep talking about, as I am, then you might just want to check out Gone Upstate and or wishlist it on Steam and then watch to see how it develops over time. And don't forget, there's currently a playtest running for the game. That's how I got access. So if you're interested, go head over to their store page on Steam, sign up for the playtest. If you think it's something that you might want to take out for a spin and try for yourself, there's no guarantee you get into the playtest, but man, it never hurts to sign up and try. So I'll also include a link to the game's Discord in the description of this video. As you know, Discord is always a great place to chat with other players and the developers of the game and ask questions to learn more about it. So that link will be in the description. And that's it. That's my early preview of Gone Upstate. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned about a new game you might be interested in checking out. If you're interested in learning about more very cool upcoming games, I always recommend checking out my First Look playlist. I got a bunch of very cool games featured in that playlist, including Gone Upstate and many others, and I add new games just about every week to that list. I'll pop a link to the playlist in the description, so be sure to check it out. And with that, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching my preview of Gone Upstate, and I will see you in the next one.